Hey, this is Catty from The Catty Life, and today I'm here with Tom from Byron Burger. So Tom and I are here at the Soho store, and Byron Burger actually has a number of stores all across London. So tell me, where did Byron start? Tell me about Byron Burger, your ideas, your motivations, inspirations. Where did Byron start?
Well, Byron started really with the love of a good hamburger. I've been in the restaurant business for a long time, always been interested in food of all shapes and sizes. I always found that in London there were kind of lots and lots of places, restaurants that would offer a hamburger. There were a few places that did just hamburgers, but I never really felt that I found one that I thought was my kind of hamburger.
So you decided to make your own?
Yeah, so I think the inspiration just came from, everyone loves hamburgers. Everybody loves a great hamburger. You can get plenty of these in America, West and East Coast, but London just seemed to be heading in a different direction.
So how long's Byron been around?
Well, we started sort of just over 2 years ago. Our first restaurant was in Kensington. We probably spent sort of 9 months to a year before that doing all the homework.
Yeah. Going around eating. Well, I was going to say, you go around eating burgers around London.
Well, not just London, but we spent quite a lot of time in New York as well.
Yes.
So I make it try and sound like hard work, but we had a lot of fun. Yeah. So we had a lot of hamburgers, did a lot of research, did a lot of development here with our butcher to get the kind of hamburger patty that we liked. A lot of work around the bun, and just a lot of work around, what do we want the restaurant to be like? How do we want it to feel?
Yeah.
How big or short are we going to make the menu?
Yeah.
So really, kind of just over 2 years, another year of development, and we've got seven restaurants
in 2 years. I think that's pretty good. And like you said, the culture of burgers is doesn't seem to be that big in London the way it is in the United States. But to me, anyway, I feel like there's a lot of little burger restaurants popping up all around London. Do you think that they're trying to follow the trend that is in the US? Why do you think that there's a new trend in burgers?
I think there's a few things going on. I think undoubtedly when you see in the restaurant market, when people see something working, they want to replicate it. So I think there's a little bit of that. But I think there's other things happening which are sort of generic about the restaurant market and the food culture in London.
Yeah.
One is that generally people are getting more sophisticated about their food and more demanding about quality, not just at the top end, but particularly at the bottom end. So types of food and restaurants and offers that traditionally were seen as kind of cheap, now are still reasonably good value, but the emphasis is making them on really good quality.
Yeah, that's right.
So, you see that across the board. You remember pubs used to have crap food, now they have good food.
Yeah.
Pret a Manger made a bad sandwich, a good sandwich. Then you have Leon taking that on. You have a Fernandez of Wells around the corner from here. You see that really all the way through this segment of the market. It's a general sort of move towards making even the simple, cheap, good value things really good quality. So I think the hamburger had not had that kind of treatment as much as it could have done, so there's a bit of that going on. And then the other thing I think is happening is there's a trend towards specialisation. For a long time there's been a trend towards you be the judge. You have what you want. Whatever you want, you can have. And I think there's a bit of a backlash against that now, where people are actually offering and having customers appreciate edited choice. So keeping things shorter, specialising in one thing, making it really good. And in our market, we've seen obviously Chilango do hamburgers. You've got the steak thing.
You stick to burgers, right?
Yeah, stick to doing one thing well. So I think there's a few things going on there.
Yeah. And speaking of, doing one thing well, I got back from LA just like less than a week ago. Have you ever been to an In-N-Out burger?
Do you know, I haven't. I brought it with me, but I didn't bring it up here. I have the In-N-Out story.
Oh yeah?
In hardback by my bedside table.
Oh wow. So tell me a little bit more about what you do with social media, because I know that you're on Twitter and you're a big fan of how to use social media. Personally, I think you use it quite well.
Yeah.
Just tell me a little bit about how you think social media can help restaurants and things like blogs.
Well, I think Twitter and blogging is really useful for restaurants. Speaking from a personal perspective there, but I generally would recommend that restaurants be more interested in this market, because from a blogging perspective, the traditional modes of reviewing restaurants used to be broadsheet newspapers, Time Out magazine, professional critics, sort of established guides, and I think that's all out the window now. As people use the internet more, they're definitely looking for different points of view, and they get that from the blogging community. So I think restaurants need to sit up and respect that and take notice of that. These people are infused, quite knowledgeable, passionate people with a point of view. So I think restaurants need to listen to it. So the blogging thing, very useful. Twitter, we have found also really helpful. It's just a way of having a conversation with people that are interested in talking to you.
That's right.
So I think we should celebrate that.
Well, I'm glad you have a healthy attitude towards bloggers personally.
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't you tell me about yourself? Do you eat burgers all the time?
I have to admit, I've rationed myself. I have eaten a lot of hamburgers
I can
over the last
imagine.
2 or 3 years. So in order to keep me honest and keen, I try and sort of keep to 2 or 3 a week.
2 or 3, that's not bad. And what do you eat when you don't eat burgers?
Well, I kind of am a big fan of all types of food. I think if I'm at home, I'm a big fan of the braising pot. You'll find me, I like the stew stuff, stick it in the oven for long periods of time. When I'm out in the restaurant market, I eat a lot of French, a lot of modern British, Chinese, sushi. So
you cook at home as well?
I cook at home.
Oh, yeah, good.
But it's a good way to switch off, I think. I do a lot of my thinking when I'm just
stirring.
And making a huge mess at the same time, of course, which someone else has to clear up. So.
And what is let's say your top 3 favourite restaurants in London?
Ooh, that's a tough question. Well, right now, and I'm not particularly on top of all the new restaurant openings, and I tend to be quite traditional and old-fashioned about my restaurant choices, but Racine in Knightsbridge is my favourite restaurant. The chef there, Henry Harris, who I know is also a big Twitterer, is a good friend, but fundamentally a very talented chef. So, big fan of the Caprice, an old one but a good one, and I would think for just sort of more fun and more atmosphere, I do think the Soho House Group do a very good job. So it's the kind of one sector of the market. I could go on forever. All the other kind of places that I like, but I'd say probably Racine, Caprice, and out of the Soho House Group.
Okay, well, thanks so much for your time today, Tom.
It's a pleasure.
If you want to find out any more about Byron Burger, go to their website, which is www.byronhamburger.com. Is that right? That's right. Or check out istaffin.com. Thanks.